Good evening. Coming up tonight.
A shocking video has gone viral of an alligator eating another alligator right here in South Carolina.
Out at Davis Field, there was a much-needed day of de-stressing with dogs as fall break approaches.
And finally, former President Bob Caslen has some notable regrets from his time here in Columbia.
All of that and more tonight on SGTV Nightly News.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse studio, this is SGTV Nightly News.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Joshua Teckel.
And I'm Zane Heinlein. Thanks for joining us tonight. We know Mondays can be rough, but check out these pups who provide a pretty possum start to a dog day. The dogs on Davis dropped in to let students de-stress during their downtime, and they were pretty darn dapper. Whether you want to pet a pooch or ask about adoptions, Palmetto Lifeline frequently comes to campus with pups to adopt, foster, or simply make your day better. So if you're wondering how you missed this event, no need to tear yourself up about it. Dogs on Davis will return for you to release all of your school-related stress. To find out when you can, find Carolina Productions on Garnet Gate.
As the search for the new UofSC president continues, former President Bob Caslen called his tenure at the university the biggest regret of his life.
Caslen's bitter comments come 4 months after leaving the university for plagiarizing parts of his commencement address and mistakenly calling the school the University of California.
Caslen's remarks are in response to a release of 3,800 pages of emails by the Post and Courier showing discussions from Caslen, Pastides, and university board members.
In an email between Caslen and Vice President of Student Affairs, Dennis Pruitt, right after the commencement address, Caslen described the student South Carolina community as the most hostile and destructive community he's ever been a part of.
The emails go on to show support and criticism sent towards Caslen and board members from the time he gave his speech to when board members hired Paris Pastides as interim president.
All right, let's get a look at the latest developments for COVID-19 around the state and on campus.
In South Carolina, COVID cases have increased, but the rate of infection has slowed in the last week.
Today, 993 new cases were confirmed by SCDHEC in the state, adding to a total of 697,635 cases.
Roughly 26 new confirmed deaths were also reported today, adding to the total 11,036 deaths, with 2 being probable deaths.
Moving closer to home, COVID cases have gone down. There were no new coronavirus cases reported recently, making the total of 37 for the campus. The percent positive for the community is at around 0.9, down from 1.6% when the dashboard was last updated.
As of right now, 66.8% of the Columbia campus is fully vaccinated against COVID-19, and the university's alert level remains at new normal. Down in the low country of South Carolina, it's common to see warning signs for alligators near bike trails and parks.
We've seen videos of these large reptiles lounging in the middle of roads or strolling through country club golf courses. But have you ever seen this?
An alligator swallowing another alligator. In Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, a viral video shot by Taylor Soper shows a large alligator eating another alligator about 6 feet long.
The video was shot in Soper's grandparents' backyard, which goes to show how prevalent these creatures are in the area.
Despite the reaction from the internet community, it actually isn't uncommon for alligators to prey on each other. Now, I've seen snakes eat each other before. I've even heard of sharks eating each other before, but I've never seen an actual alligator eat another alligator. And everyone's talking about how the alligator that was eaten was 6 feet long. I want to know how big the other alligator was, because his head was massive.
Must have been one big bitty alligator.
Could you imagine something like that in your backyard?
Never once.
Me neither. I think the craziest thing I've seen in my backyard was my dog chasing a rabbit.
Ooh, that is pretty scary though. Poor rabbit.
Yeah. Coming up, exciting news for former Gamecock basketball star Austin Nasser will give you updates on all things sports, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Our very own Austin Nasser is here to give you the latest update on Gamecock women's soccer, who we hear is having quite the season. Austin?
Thank you, Josh. Remember back in January when the university installed the statue of A'ja Wilson outside of Colonial Life Arena, cementing her legacy as a Gamecock women's basketball legend? Well, now Wilson has her chance to do so in the WNBA. Wilson has her team, the Las Vegas Aces, in the semifinals of the WNBA playoffs and just 2 wins away from returning to the finals. unfortunately for the Aces last season, ended in heartbreak as Wilson led the team to the finals, but they were swept 3-0 by the Seattle Storm. After being selected with the #1 overall pick in 2018, Wilson has quickly become one of the league's biggest stars, earning 3 All-Star appearances and the 2020 League MVP in just 4 seasons. The only thing missing from Wilson's long list of career accomplishments? A WNBA championship. And after last season's disappointment, Wilson and the Aces are certainly looking to fulfill their redemption arc and come out on top this year. It's not going to come easy though. The Aces are currently down 2-1 in the semifinals against the Phoenix Mercury, so the Aces will have to win their next 2 games to advance to the finals. So if you're looking to feel some nostalgia from back in 2017 when A'ja Wilson and the South Carolina women's basketball team brought the Natty home, tune in to ESPN tomorrow at 10 p.m. to watch Wilson and the Aces try to avoid elimination against the Mercury. All right, I think we've had enough of dwelling in the past success of Gamecock athletics for now. So let's talk about how South Carolina football has been faring so far this season. The Gamecocks are currently sitting on a record of 3-2. I know, an actual positive record. It sure feels weird to be above 500 at this point of the season. And unfortunately, it looks like South Carolina will have a chance to build on that positive record this week as they travel to Knoxville to take on Tennessee this Saturday. The Vols will enter the matchup with a matching record of 3-2. However, they're coming off their most impressive performance of the season after they thrashed Missouri on the road, winning 62-24. Tennessee has relied heavily on the rushing attack in the early portion of this season, leading the SEC in rushing attempts at 240 and rushing touchdowns with 15. The defensive game plan for South Carolina has to be focused on stopping the Tennessee running game early and often and forcing the Vols to move the ball through the air. If they're successful in doing that, the Gamecocks will open up opportunities for their playmaking defense to force some turnovers. After all, South Carolina is leading the league with 9 interceptions, 3 of which have been returned for touchdowns. Now, students, after back-to-back weekends at Willie B, you can relax and enjoy your fall break while watching your Gamecocks take on the Volunteers on ESPN at noon this Saturday. That's all for Gamecock Sports. Back to you.
Thank you, Austin. Coming up, more on how the mind can be mesmerized and also why students decided to bumble in bunches on Davis Field. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We have the latest on some exciting events coming very soon. I'm Kaden Dinkins along with
Stephanie Ripp. Let's get started.
With a not so heavy heart, we're letting you all know that this will be the last nightly news show before fall break.
If you're leaving Soda City, SGTV wishes you a safe travels and a fun visit wherever you're going.
If you're staying here in Columbia, there's still so much to do. On Saturday night, there's 2 concerts you can check out. Craig Morgan will be playing at Segra Park, and
Earth, Wind, and Fire will be at Township Auditorium, even though we're a couple weeks past the 21st night in September.
Now, Stephanie, I am not staying in Columbia, but I know most people are. I also am attending a concert in Charlotte, which I'm super excited about. I wish I would have known about the concerts here because I absolutely would have attended. How about you?
I know. I'm going to be going to Tennessee, actually. I will be seeing the game. Very exciting. Hoping for another Gamecock win, but we'll see. So, have you ever been playing cornhole at a tailgate and felt like an Olympic athlete? Well, next Monday is your day to shine.
As a part of Homecoming, Gamecock Entertainment will host their very first UofSC Lawn Game Olympics from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Strom Thurmond Fields.
Players will compete in duos over 5 lawn competitions to earn the most points and take home a medal. I have to say, not to brag, I'm pretty good at cornhole, so I might have to go and play.
Growing up in the Low Country, you think I would be pretty good at cornhole, but I can't say so much about it. But I did play this past weekend, so maybe I'll have to go test my skills out a little bit.
Yes, definitely.
When we get back to school after fall break, homecoming will begin. And while we're so excited to go around the world here at UofSC, there's some events, more important holidays coming up on Monday as well.
Monday is Indigenous Peoples Day, which recognizes the loss of Indigenous peoples resulting from the massacres of colonial invaders.
It's also National Coming Out Day, so be sure to remind all of your friends that you're a safe place.
And remind your friends who are a part of the LGBTQIA+ community that they are loved and supported.
I think that our university celebrates these days. I think that's so important to have those students that are a part of those communities feel welcomed and feel loved.
Yes, definitely. I totally agree. So when you return from fall break, a magical event awaits. Next Tuesday, October 12th, the main course will be hosting Harry Potter trivia from 7 to 9.
Call Ron and Hermione and fly your broom over to 1624 Main Street to show off your knowledge of the wizarding world and earn points and prizes for your house.
All 7 books are fair game, so make sure you study up. But Kaden will let you know what weather you can look forward to for the rest of the week for fall break, so stay close.
But that's not all we have for you guys right now. I want to talk a little bit about Harry Potter. So I will say, me and my roommate have watched all of the movies probably 20 plus times because we have them on our Apple TV. Before this past year, I have not watched any of the Harry Potter movies, but I absolutely love them.
Oh my gosh, me too. Me and my dad used to watch them when I was little, and they're just so good.
What house do you think you relate to the most?
Gryffindor. I don't know why. It just speaks to me.
Yeah, I think either that or I think I'd be a Hufflepuff, but not sure. But Stephanie was right. We'll be right back. That's all we have for entertainment news tonight, but I'll be right back to give you this week's forecast, so stay with us. Welcome back, Gamecocks. I hope you haven't had enough of me because I am here to stay just for a few more minutes, but let's jump right into the weather headlines for this week. We do have a chance of thunderstorms tonight that started around 3 o'clock today, and if you were anything like me, I was on campus and did not have a rain jacket. Very silly of me, but I did get poured on and had to walk across all of campus soaking wet. And that 70% chance of rain will continue until tomorrow. There will be showers likely to continue throughout the rest of the week until Friday, and then partly clear afternoon on Saturday. Those showers will start up again, and then Sunday is nice and clear. Now, the state highs of today. So we had a nice 85 in Columbia, 82 in Aiken, and 82 in Orangeburg as well. If you notice, we had a nice bit of lower 80s right here in the Midlands and a little bit in the upstate. And then Florence was a bit higher. But as we jumped down to the coast, we had a high of 81 in Hilton Head, 78 in Charleston, and then 80 in Myrtle Beach. We stayed relatively in the low 80s, like I said, except for Florence, and then also the mid 70s in Greenville and a little bit higher 70s in Greenwood. Now this week, I do have sad news. Last week we did have a very great week. It was nice and beautiful. It was very hot though, but this week hopefully this rain will cool it down after that cold front pushes on through. So Wednesday we have a chance of thunderstorms with a high of 82 and a low of 67. Those thunderstorms will be likely to start tonight. Thursday we have a high of 81 and a low of 66. That rain continues. Friday it continues again, very likely to have rain, but that temperature drops a little bit to 79 with a low of 64. And then Saturday we have a partly cloudy day and then partly showers, partly clear. However partly you want to put it. But we do have afternoon showers, mostly starting after 2 p.m. with a high of 77 and a low of 63. Another temp drop from 79 to 77. And then Sunday, which is our only day, which is perfect. I always like to say sunny on Sunday, but it's mostly sunny with a high of 80 and a low of 63. That temperature jumps up just a little bit again. And then on Monday, it jumps up 1 more degree with another chance of showers, but mostly clear with a low of 84. Now, right now here in Columbia, South Carolina, it is 76. It feels like 76. The winds are going southeast at 6 miles an hour and the humidity is 84%. The humidity comes with that rain. We do not have a clear moon tonight where that is supposed to be precipitation there, but we'll see some storms starting. Like I said, again, some thunderstorms likely with a precipitation chance of 51%. And that sunset at 7:02 tonight. It is getting earlier and earlier. I'm kind of sad about it. I hope you guys are too. I love when the days are long and the nights are short. And that's all I have for you guys tonight. Make sure to stay tuned for tonight's edition of Carolina Canines.
And finally tonight.
Tonight's Carolina Canine is Yoda. This picture was sent in by our very own Chelsea Bynes.
Yoda is a 1-year-old cockapoo who loves belly rubs. He loves to go to the dog park and sneaks to jump on the couch when he can.
This adorable pup's favorite treats are peanut butter and pup cups from Starbucks. If you ever want to have a fun day, Yoda is the guy to hit up.
I have to admit, Yoda is a very pretty looking dog. I've been told that I've been very passive aggressive towards small dogs, so I have to give Chelsea credit. Yoda is a pretty dog.
You very much do.
And I actually got an inside scoop that Yoda for Halloween will be a UPS package delivery dog.
Oh, if I saw that coming up to my door, that would make my day.
I will purposely order random things on the internet if it means Yoda will come to my door.
Oh, for sure. That's all we have tonight for tonight's edition of SGTV Nightly News.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to visit us online at sgtvonline.com. And one more thing, be sure to subscribe to our brand, New News Brief, SGTV recap in time to receive next week's edition.
We will be sending you a recap of all the week's news from SGTV every Monday morning. For SGTV Nightly News, I'm Joshua Tekel.
And I'm Zane Heinlein. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.